Answering the hard problem of consciousness. How does brain processes and physical processes give rise to subjective first-person experience? It's a heck of a question. How is it possible that the physical object that you see before you, everybody, how is consciousness even possible? Like, this stick is purely physical, but it doesn't have consciousness, right? Like, if we were to break it apart, this doesn't have consciousness. Even breaking it further, this one piece doesn't have consciousness. So if we assemble all the pieces of non-consciousness together, at what point does it give rise to a subjective experience? But I feel like this is a flawed assumption because it assumes that consciousness is the product of non-physical processes. But after all, how do you even know, how do the non-conscious processes even exist if they're not contained within the mind itself? Just think of this, a spoon. The spoon is non-conscious. It's not conscious at all. There's no way it has a subjective experience. If you look at it, where would you find the subjective experience at? There is no brain in the spoon where it could have a subjective experience. But even if the spoon did have a brain, how could you know if it had a subjective experience? If I created a brain on this stick, how would I know if it had subjective experience or not? The only thing I could do is I could infer if it behaves like it has a subjective experience to it. But the stick, it doesn't. It can't reflect on itself. It cannot communicate with other minds. But the thing is if we take you or somebody that you know, and if we dissect them all the way down, we cannot find a subjective experience in there, but yet we claim that there is a subjective experience there. So the thing is if subjective experience was boiled down to physical processes, then we would someday find the seat of that subjective experience, that we would someday be able to access that. But the thing is if it's not even accessible, you cannot access somebody's consciousness. So that goes to show you that there is something missing in the picture. You cannot access somebody else's consciousness because it's not purely physical process. If it was, then you could access it and know what it's like to experience another person, but you can't. And I wonder if you could answer why that is.